It's never too late. It's never too late. Come back to the Father. All your sons and daughters. Come back to the Father. It's never too late. It's never too late.
Hi, if we haven't met before, I'm Jason Hershey, coming to you from the White House Ellipse right here in Washington, D.C., announcing again this fall, David's Tent DC 2014, September 15th to November 4th, where right here on this very plot of ground, we will again set up a tent, put a stage, and summon worship leaders from around the nation to come and worship Jesus continuously, 24/7, around the clock for 50 days this year. You know, this is the third year that we're doing it. At the end of last year's tent, I felt like the Lord said, next year, go 50 days. Expand the tent pegs from the 40 days of the previous 2 years, one day for every state as an act of intercession that all 50 states of America will be swept into His presence and swept into a revival in America. And to be honest, I was a little bit nervous when I went to the permitting office to ask for this. And they said, we love you guys, 50 days is great. In fact, if you asked for 120 days, we'd probably give it to you. We just see this as the favor of the Lord. And so we want to call people from all 50 states again to come here to Washington, D.C., to lift up the name of Jesus, to worship Him with all of our hearts once again, that we'd have an intercessory lamp of worship standing in the gap in America right here from Washington, D.C. It's amazing how God has watched over this tent, David's Tent. Last year, during the government shutdown, was right during David's Tent, and the Washington Mall, including all of these parks, the park that I'm standing on, and the mall right here in front of me, everything was shut down, and yet they gave us special permission to continue the worship even when everything else was evacuated off the National Mall. You guys, it was the favor of the Lord, saying even when the governments of man shut down, the government of God, 24/7 worship around the throne of Jesus, that I'm still jealous to continue. In a current situation where religious liberties are under attack all over this nation, people are getting fired from public school positions, fired from the military, cast away from public places because of their testimony of Jesus, that in the midst of this, somehow or another, we have a permit for 50 days to exalt Jesus right here outside the White House. We see this as an opportunity from heaven that we want to invoke and challenge the Church of America, that we must run into this opportunity. God has made a way for the testimony of Jesus to go forth in a powerful way in the public square of the U.S. So come join us and let's raise up David's tent, a tabernacle of worship unto our King Jesus from D.C. over all 50 states, that once again, Jesus will be blessed like never before from our nation.